The Sepik River, winding through the lush and remote landscapes of Papua New Guinea, is one of the world's most captivating and significant rivers, both in terms of its ecological diversity and its profound cultural impact on the communities that have lived along its banks for thousands of years. Stretching for approximately 1,126 kilometers, 700 miles, the Sepik is the longest river in Papua New Guinea and one of the largest rivers in the world by volume. Its waters rise in the Victor Emmanuel Range of the Central Highlands of Papua New Guinea before flowing northward through tropical rainforests and vast swampy lowlands, ultimately emptying into the Bismarck Sea. This majestic river has long been a lifeline for the people who inhabit its shores, providing food, transportation, and a wealth of natural resources. In addition, the Sepik River Basin is home to some of the most pristine and biologically diverse ecosystems on the planet, containing countless species of plants, animals, and fish, many of which are found nowhere else in the world. The Sepik River's importance extends far beyond its physical characteristics, however. For the thousands of people living in the river's catchment area, the Sepik is not just a source of sustenance, but also a central part of their cultural and spiritual identity. The communities along the Sepik, many of whom have lived in the region for millennia, have developed intricate and rich traditions that are deeply connected to the river and its environment. Art, mythology, and social structure are all closely tied to the river, and the Sepik region is renowned for its incredible artistic output, including wood carvings, masks, and sculptures that have captured the imagination of anthropologists and art collectors around the world. The river serves as both a literal and metaphorical artery, connecting the various villages and cultures that line its banks, and its presence can be felt in every aspect of life in the region. The Sepik River's journey begins in the mountainous highlands of Papua New Guinea, where rainfall and melting snow feed the river's headwaters. From these rugged, forested mountains, the river flows northward through steep valleys and deep gorges before descending into the lowland plains. Along its journey, the Sepik passes through some of the most diverse and untouched ecosystems in the world. The river basin is characterized by its dense rainforests, extensive wetlands, and winding tributaries, which together create a haven for wildlife. Crocodiles, fish, and an array of bird species thrive in the river and its surrounding environment, while the rainforests are home to a staggering variety of plant and animal life, including many species that are yet to be fully documented by scientists. The Sepik River is not only a biological treasure trove but also one of the last relatively undisturbed river systems in the world, making it a crucial focus for conservation efforts. As the Sepik River flows into the lowlands, it transforms the landscape, creating vast floodplains, swamps, and lakes that are teeming with life. These wetlands are not only crucial for the local ecosystem but also for the people who depend on the river for their livelihoods. Fishing, hunting, and gathering are integral parts of life along the Sepik, and the river provides an abundance of resources that sustain the communities that live along its banks. The Sepik is also a key transportation route, with dugout canoes being the primary mode of travel for many people. The river connects remote villages to one another and to the outside world, allowing for the exchange of goods, ideas, and traditions. In this way, the Sepik serves as both a natural resource and a social and cultural connector, knitting together the many different communities that inhabit its basin. The people who live along the Sepik River have a deep and enduring relationship with the river and its environment. For many of these communities, the river is not only a source of physical sustenance but also a central part of their spiritual and cultural world. The river is considered sacred, and its waters are believed to be imbued with spiritual power. Many of the myths and legends of the Sepik peoples revolve around the river and its inhabitants, particularly the crocodile, which holds a special place in the cultural and religious life of the region. In some areas, young men undergo initiation rites that involve scarification designed to mimic the scales of a crocodile, symbolizing their transition into adulthood and their connection to the spiritual power of the river. These traditions are passed down through generations and continue to play a vital role in the social and cultural fabric of Sepik communities. The artistic traditions of the Sepik region are also deeply intertwined with the river and its environment. The Sepik is renowned for its wood carving, which is considered some of the finest in the world. The people of the Sepik have developed a highly sophisticated and distinctive style of art that is closely linked to their spiritual beliefs and cultural practices. Carvings of ancestral figures, masks, and totems are common, and these objects are often used in important rituals and ceremonies. The intricate designs and craftsmanship of Sepik art have attracted the attention of collectors and museums worldwide, and many examples of Sepik art can be found in prominent collections around the globe. Despite this outside interest, Sepik art remains a living tradition, and the people of the Sepik continue to produce works of incredible beauty and significance that reflect their deep connection to the river and their ancestors. The Sepik River's cultural significance is not limited to art and mythology. The social and political structures of the communities along the river are also shaped by the environment and the river's role in their daily lives. Many villages along the Sepik are organized into clans or extended families, and the river plays a central role in determining land ownership and resource use. Access to fishing spots, hunting grounds, and other resources is often governed by traditional laws and customs, which have been passed down through generations. These customs help to ensure the sustainable use of the river's resources, as the people of the Sepik have long recognized the need to maintain the health of the river and its environment in order to sustain their way of life. This traditional knowledge is an invaluable resource in the effort to preserve the Sepik's ecosystems and the cultures that depend on them. Despite the deep cultural and environmental significance of the Sepik River, the region is not without its challenges. In recent years, the Sepik has faced increasing pressures from development and industrial activities, particularly mining. Large-scale mining projects, particularly for gold and copper, have been proposed in the Sepik Basin, and these projects have raised serious concerns about their potential impact on the river and its surrounding environment. Mining operations can result in the release of toxic chemicals, such as mercury cyanide, into the water, which can have devastating effects on the river's ecosystems and the communities that rely on them. Additionally, the construction of infrastructure for mining, including roads and dams, can lead to deforestation, habitat destruction, and changes in the river's flow, all of which pose significant threats to the Sepik's delicate ecological balance. The prospect of mining in the Sepik region has sparked fierce opposition from local communities, environmental organizations, and international advocacy groups. Many of the people who live along the Sepik have expressed deep concerns about the potential environmental and social impacts of mining, and they have called for the preservation of the river and its ecosystems. These communities argue that the river is more valuable as a source of life and culture than as a resource to be exploited for short-term economic gain. Their resistance to mining is rooted not only in concerns about the environment but also in the desire to protect their cultural heritage and way of life. The debate over mining in the Sepik region highlights the tensions between economic development and environmental and cultural preservation, a challenge that is increasingly being faced in many parts of the world. Efforts to protect the Sepik River and its ecosystems have gained momentum in recent years, with both local and international organizations working to raise awareness about the importance of the river and the threats it faces. Conservation initiatives have focused on preserving the biodiversity of the Sepik Basin, supporting sustainable development practices, and advocating for the rights of indigenous communities. These efforts are critical for ensuring that the Sepik River can continue to provide for the people and wildlife that depend on it. However, protecting the Sepik is not without its challenges, as the pressures of economic development, population growth, and climate change continue to mount. Addressing these challenges will require a concerted effort from governments, NGOs, local communities, and the international community to balance the needs of development with the preservation of the Sepik's unique cultural and ecological heritage. The Sepik River stands as one of the last great unspoiled river systems in the world, a place where the natural world and human culture are intricately intertwined. Its waters have sustained life for thousands of years, nurturing both the incredible biodiversity of the region and the rich cultural traditions of the people who call the Sepik home. For the people of the Sepik, the river is far more than just a body of water, it is the heart of their world, a source of identity, spirituality, and community. The future of the Sepik River, and the people who depend on it, will depend on the ability to protect this unique and fragile environment from the many threats it faces, while also respecting the rights and cultures of the people who have lived in harmony with the river for generations. In conclusion, the Sepik River is a vital and vibrant force in the life of Papua New Guinea. Its waters, ecosystems, and cultural significance make it one of the most important rivers in the world. Yet, like many of the world's great rivers, it faces considerable challenges from environmental degradation, industrial development, and climate change. The future of the Sepik River will depend on the efforts of local communities, governments, and international organizations to protect its ecosystems and ensure that the river can continue to provide for the people and wildlife that rely on it. The story of the Sepik is one of resilience and interconnection, a reminder of the profound relationships between. In summary, the Sepik River is not only a natural wonder but also a vital thread woven into the fabric of life for the communities that inhabit its banks. It stands as a testament to the rich cultural heritage and ecological diversity of Papua New Guinea. The river's waters nourish both the land and the people, serving as a source of sustenance, transportation, and spiritual significance. However, as we face the increasing pressures of development, environmental degradation, and climate change, it is imperative that we recognize the importance of preserving the Sepik River and its ecosystems. The challenges ahead are significant, but so too are the opportunities for collaboration among local communities, conservationists, and policymakers. By prioritizing sustainable practices and respecting the traditional knowledge of the indigenous peoples, we can work toward a future where the Sepik River continues to thrive, supporting both the natural environment and the rich cultural traditions that have flourished along its shores for centuries. As we strive to protect this vital resource, we must remember that the fate of the Sepik River is intricately tied to the broader health of our planet and the legacy we leave for future generations. Let us commit to safeguarding this extraordinary river and honoring the deep connection it fosters between people and nature, ensuring that the Sepik remains a source of life, culture, and inspiration for years to come.